Ooh, okay. I'm a little nervous. I've never done this before. What's up, guys? If you don't know me, my name's Vince, and basically, I'm joining the military. So basically, I'm joining the Air Force, and I'm about to tell you guys my MEPS experience and what that was like. Because I'm pretty sure this can help somebody, because before I left, I was watching mad videos. So I'm just gonna tell y'all my point of view of how it went. So obviously, it went good, because I wouldn't be standing here if it didn't. So beforehand, it took me about like 2 weeks to get to MEPS. I talked to my recruiter like on a Wednesday or something, and literally exactly 2 weeks later, I went to MEPS. So just wanted to let y'all know. So basically, I went all the way to MEPS. My MEPS was in Denver. Drove a pretty cool, simple drive. And then we were outside the building, and as soon as we hit outside the building, that's when I started to get a little nervous, and I was like, what the fuck? Because I don't ever get nervous about like really anything, but like that experience alone, I don't know, it just felt like before you go on like a big ass roller coaster or something, like my heart was just racing because I didn't know what to expect, but I did know what to expect, you know what I mean? Basically, listen to your recruiter whatever he tells you, because my recruiter just told me basically before everything he said, just follow direction. I said, ow, got it. Like simple. I go into the building, and then what happened? Hold on, let me remember. So I go in, and then I found this girl walking ahead of me, like before she got into the building. So I was trying to hurry up and catch up on her because I didn't know where the front entrance was, and I was a little nervous. So I was trying to catch up with her. Went in, went through security, and then I asked the front desk guy, and I was like, "Where's the floor to MEPS?" He said, "Oh, it's the second floor." I said, "Okay." He was really rude. That man was so rude. Whoever you are, I hope.
This,
Be nice.
I'm finding it.
I don't hope nothing actually. Hope you have a good day, cause your attitude was I really appreciated it. So I went up to the second floor, right? And then we had to go to this room 207, and it's just a room full of cubbies and everything. So we put all of our stuff in the cubbies. Then after putting my stuff in the cubbies, I was basically there the first day to retake my ASVAB, right? Because my previous ASVAB, I got a 48, right? And I was chilling, right? You know, I did it. It was not too bad, not too good. Like, it was all right. It's an all right score. I went into the test room to retake my ASVAB and everything. And then it was like mad people in there. And then I had a pee so bad. And I was so nervous to like ask to go to the bathroom. Like, I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't tell them I needed to use the bathroom. Because I thought they wouldn't let me. But like, they literally would have. So I had a piss so bad, bro. So then during the whole test, I was low-key rushing because I really had to pee. And then so there was this one guy in there. He I don't know what he was, because I don't really know what he was, but he was just like really strict, and he was like yelling at people. So I was like, okay, I'll sit there like a good boy and take my test. So I took my test. And then I actually thought I did so good, right? I was like, bro, I literally got a better score, because like I swear I passed all like so many questions I got right. I swore. And then I got up to tell him I was done. He said,
Whoa.
sit down and raise your hand. And I said, yes, sir. I was like, oh, sorry, I forgot to do that. He didn't tell me my score, and I was like, what? So then I went outside, grabbed my phone, grabbed all my stuff, and I texted my recruiter, and then my recruiter was like,
you got a 42.
oh, what do you mean? I was like, bro, I even texted my recruiter. I was like, bro, I literally thought I did like so much better. Like, what do you mean? I wasn't like upset. I was just like, I really thought I was like starstruck. I was like, what do you mean? Like, I really thought I did so much better. But I wasn't impressed or anything. So then basically I'm about to retake my ASVAB for the final time here in like 3 weeks. And I've been studying, so I've been doing a lot better. So after that, I waited to go to the shuttle to the hotel room. So then I was waiting around for like 20 minutes, and then I went outside to go to the shuttle, and then found the shuttle. It was so like I struggle with directions sometimes. And so I had to like re-ask like so many people what direction the fucking shuttle was, and it was to the left, and I couldn't understand that. To the left across the street. So I went to the shuttle, and then I was sitting there with that girl who I saw at the beginning, and she was joining the Air Force too. And I wanted to talk to her, but she really didn't look like she wanted to talk. I wanted to like make a friend. Like, I wanted to talk to somebody. But so I was in there, and then about like 20 minutes later, the whole bus is full. There's like 14 people. I took a video, but there was like 14 people in there. Quiet. Nobody was talking. I was like, nobody wants to like chit chat a little bit. Like, what's going on? Like, come on. So we made it, drove on the way to MEPS. It was like 25 minutes. Went into the hotel, walked all the way up to the second floor. We made it to this like whole boardroom, like this meeting room or something, with this front desk lady. And she was just telling us like everything of like, oh, sit down, read this whole pamphlet of everything, and then come get your room key after. So then after that, I got my room key and everything. Well, everybody got the room key, and we were just sitting there. And then she's like, okay, there's a meeting here at 8:30 because we got there at like 4 or 5. And I was like, okay, bet. So then there was a meeting there, and then after she said, you can do whatever now until 8:30. So I had my room key, and then I was walking around, and I found this guy. I was like, oh, I was eyeing him like in like the car before, and I was like, who are you? Anyways, he was like,
you want to like look around like the hotel and check out the hotel?
I was like, yeah, for sure. So I was walking around with him, and then he was like, being annoying. So then after that, I was like, all right, I'm gonna go to my room. So I found my room. And then I put all my stuff down, and then I was waiting to see who my roommate was, and I was so scared. I was like, I don't know who my roommate is gonna be. Like, I hope they're nice. I hope they're chill. And then yeah, so I sat down, and then I found my roommate, and he low-key scared me at first. Like, that man really terrified me at first. He was joining the Marines, and I was like, oh, it's like, so you don't play. Okay. So, yeah, he was chill though. He was really nice actually. And then I wanted to take a nap because I completely forgot about the board meeting. I completely forgot about the whole meeting that they were gonna have. So I tried to go to bed. So then I put all my stuff down. My roommate left because he made some friends and he was chilling out with them. So then I was in there trying to take a nap, and then I couldn't go to bed, and I was like, why can't I go to bed? And then it clicked, and I was like, there's a meeting. So then I got there. The meeting started at 8:30. I figured out about the meeting. I realized at like 8 o'clock. So I was on my way to the room, lost the room, couldn't remember where the room was. It took me like 7 minutes to find the room, and then I found it. Everybody was in there. I wasn't the last one in there, so I was fine. So I wasn't like, I was chilling. Anyways, yeah, meeting happened. Boring meeting, like just simple stuff like what's gonna happen at MEPS, everything. There was people there who were shipping out the next day too, and I was like, oh, I didn't like that didn't like register. Like, so then I made it back to my room, and then I was trying to like go to bed before my roommate came back because he low-key scared me. So I tried to go to bed, and then I was like about to go to bed, eyes shut, and then boom, he comes in, and I was like, damn. And I don't judge people, but like, he really scared me. He was in the bathroom, and then he came out and he was like, did you bring any like Q-tips or anything like that? And I was like, no, like how come? And he was like, oh, because my recruiter told me that like you would really need them. And like, so I brought some, and he was like, would you like some? I can set them out for you on the sink for you like when you take a shower tomorrow. And I was like, yeah, sure. I was like, this man's so nice. Like, literally like what an angel. Like literally like love him. Like, oh, that's my baby girl. Like, so go to bed, right? Ooh, best sleep of my life. I went to bed at like 9:45 or 10. Before we went to bed, we were like, okay, what time you trying to get up? So I told him, I was like, I'll get up at 4:30 because I'm gonna take a shower in the morning. And he's like, okay, for bet. So I'll set my alarm at like for 4:45, and I was like, okay, I'll set mine for 4:30. I woke up at like 4:15 before my alarm went off, and I was like, like really? So I got up, went to the shower, and then took a shower, a quick shower, like 6 minutes tops, and then got out, and then I used the Q-tips he gave me. Because I was really scared, and I was like, oh, because they do check your ears, and I was like, it really didn't register in my freaking brain. But yeah, so then we got ready, got dressed real quick. That was like the fastest ever. So we were in and ready to leave. Our call time to be in the lobby was 5:15. People really hype up the breakfast a lot, and I really understand that. It was like pretty good, pretty solid breakfast, I will admit, but like, it was okay. I give it like honestly 7 out of 10 because there was a lot of options. So then I got my breakfast, and then I sat by myself eating my food. People had like the little cliques and stuff like that, but I was chilling by myself. I'm all good by myself. I can keep myself company. I love it. So I was chilling eating my food. This guy comes in, and he was telling us like the whole rundown of like, okay, like basically saying it's gonna be like a crazy experience, and like that don't lie, you can get kicked out so quick. Like, don't lie about anything. They're gonna find any reason to disqualify you, so that way you can't join. And like, don't lie about anything. Like, they're gonna try to like get you out basically. And I was like, oh, okay. So basically he was talking for like 15 minutes, and I was like, okay. So then got it all in my brain. I wasn't nervous or anything. Like, I was chilling. I was just like, I just don't know what to expect. So we go to MEPS, another like 25-30 minute ride. I was actually like kind of like a little like I was anticipating what was gonna happen, because I wasn't nervous, but I was like, something's about to happen. So then we made it to MEPS, and this as soon as we parked, this guy from the Marines gets on the bus, and he's telling us, he's like, all right, like basically like telling us to like watch our step when we step out, or else we're gonna like fall. And so many people have fallen, and like we're gonna get posted on TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat. And he mentioned Grinder, and I said, oh, How do you know about that? How do you know about that? So, anyways, so we got out and he's like, all right. And as soon as we got out, this dude started yelling. Him and this other guy who came out of nowhere. He's like, all right, form 2 lines, like, go, go, go. And we're like, yes, sir, yes, sir. So we went, and then people were in the back. I was in the front. He was like, he was in front of the line. And I was like, okay. So then he was in front of the line. We're like, yes, sir. And then we were like this. Bro, I didn't know you could wear hoodies or anything, because some people were wearing hoodies. And I was wearing like this little like college shirt with my arm showing. It was cold as fuck. So me and this guy next to me and a lot of people were fucking, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like, just like shivering our fucking asses off because it was so cold. And they were talking for so long. I don't know, like, they were just going over everything they were saying. And just like, don't bring any weapons. Like, if you have anything like sharp or that could be considered a weapon, hand it over, hand it over. And then so we were just like standing still. People were like questioning, like, is this a weapon? No, bitch, it's not a weapon. It's your wallet. Like, sorry, but like, literally don't ask stupid questions. So then he was like, all right, go to the front of the building again. But like, it was like it was gated off when I first got there, but then the gate was open. So we were going, it's like, hustle, hustle, yes, sir. And he was like just yelling at us to hurry the fuck up. So we were going, I was actually chilling. It was like kind of fun. And then, so we were going and we lined up into 3 lines. So there was first 2 lines and I was going to get like by the next person in the second line. And then he told me, he was like, you go form a new line. And I was like, okay. When we were out there, he was yelling at everybody. He's like, if you have a belt, take it off. If you have a belt, take it off. So we were all hurrying to take our belts off. And then, so yeah, he just kept like saying, he's like, all right, I'm gonna do roll call. Like, if I say your name, say here. So we were like, okay, yes, sir, yes, sir. Counting down names. They're like, here, sir. And then, so we had to go up and get our name tags, like the little sticker. And then as soon as he said my name, he's like, Garcia. And I was like, here. And then I went up, grabbed my stuff, and then went into the line. We were just waiting in line basically, and it was so cold outside. We were all shivering. And then we made it through security. It was like 3 at a time. He's yelling at us, 3 at a time. Go, go, hurry up, hurry up, hurry your asses. And we're like, okay, like, no doubt, like, that's what we're gonna do. And then we made it past security, and then he started yelling, if you took your belts off, put your belt back on, put your belt back on. And like, he said that like 20 times because like some people still didn't listen or something like that. Yeah, put my belt back on, waiting in line. And then he made us stand shoulder to shoulder. He was like, shoulder to shoulder, yes, sir, yes, sir. He was like, all right, I'm gonna bring y'all to the nurse's room, or like where like you're gonna get a briefing in there. We're like, oh, okay. So then he took us to the room, and then we all sat down with like these desks. And then we had a girl nurse and this like guy also by her, like the chaperone dude. And then she was really nice. Like, it was like so like relieving because like she was just so nice. And then she was going over everything, replaying videos, going over slideshows, and we're like, okay, bet. And then it was time for the testings. And then so she was telling us about the testings, reading over like what we're gonna do. We're gonna do like breathalyzer, blood drawn, and eye test, your hearing, all that stuff. So she went over one by one, doing the breathalyzer test. Everybody passes, really simple. Breathe into the little machine thing. Yeah. So then after they were like, okay, who can go pee like right now? I raised my hand because I knew the sooner you do that, the sooner you get out and done. So I raised my hand. I was one of the first 4. They handed us this yellow folder. And then so we were like, okay. So then they were like, all right, line up. We're about to go start. So it was yellow folders up front and then the rest people behind us. We went into this other room, this big old room where like they take your height and your weight. And we all sat down on this little bench. And while we were sitting down, they were like talking to each other. There was this fucking cockroach that was like this fat ass cockroach, like this big. So there was this fat ass cockroach like inching its way towards us. And we were all, that was like our little bonding moment, I guess, where everybody decided to break out of their shell and wanted to like talk to each other or like whisper. So then we were like, oh my god, they're like, look at the cockroaches coming. It was a fun moment. It was funny. Anyway, so then one by one they were taking our height and our weight. He took my weight. I think I weighed 170. It was 137.5, and he put down 135, and I was like, what the fuck? Because that man was also like really old. And like, I don't know, like he's just like, he messed up a couple times. And I was like, okay. After they put us in this hallway with like a whole bunch of seats, like right where before I went to testing, like it was just like just a whole big old hallway filled with like chairs of like every little branches like office. It was like the Air Force, Navy, Coast Guard, all of this stuff. And then so they're like, all right, who can go pee? So like who has the yellow folders? So we raised our hands and then they took us to go pee. Me and 3 other guys, right? So we went into the bathroom. And then they're like, the male chaperone, like came in there with us and he's like, all right, stand shoulder to shoulder. So we were like this, and then we didn't know what to expect. And it was just a big old bathroom with like 4 urinals, 4 stalls, and like 4 sinks. And then so he was like, all right, so line up with the urinal. So I got urinal number 4. That one was the one closest to the wall. Thank God. Because it was 4, 3, 2, 1, chaperone. I was in the corner basically. And he's like, all right, I don't want to do it. I don't want to see him, but I have to see him. So take your pants off and like, basically like, you know. So then I was like, oh, really? Like in front of all these dudes right now? So I was like, okay. We were all like starstruck. We were like, what? Like in front of everybody? I thought it was gonna be one-on-one. If it was one-on-one, chill. But honestly, I was like, whatever. So did that, and then after he's like, all right, you're good. Fill up your cups. So we got our cups, and then I had to pee so bad because I drank so much water before because I knew how to pee. I went into the room to draw blood, and then it was me and this other guy. He sat down, and she told me to sit down in the other chair, but I didn't understand it. Like I didn't hear her because like I was like moving and like going in. She didn't say it loud enough. So I was standing there like an idiot. And then she looked at me because I was supposed to be sitting on the chair, like waiting to get my blood drawn next. And she looked at me and she said,
What the fuck are you doing? I said go sit in that chair.
I said, yes, ma'am. And I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, it was really funny. But so I sat down in the chair, and then so waiting to get my blood drawn, and then it was my turn, went into that chair, and then this other guy came in. He was so funny. He was some Mexican dude. And I told him, I was whispering to him, I said, sit down in the chair, because she was about to yell at him because he also was standing there like I did. So I told him to sit down. And he's like, thank you. And I was like, you're welcome. So then I had to take my arm out, wrapped it, tourniquet. Ooh, first time ever getting my blood drawn, horrible. I was like, ugh, like I had to look away. Anyways, it was all done. She wrapped it so fucking tight. Like that shit hurt so bad. Like the wrapping, like the pressure of like how tight it was hurt more than the fucking needle. Next was, I think, vision, hearing. Yeah, vision and hearing. That was like really simple hearing test. You just have the headphones on and then click it. It's so quiet in there. I was like hallucinating. I thought I was hearing the person next to me's like headphones like beep. But like I didn't know what it was. I didn't know if it was his or mine. So I just kept clicking the damn button. Whatever you do, click the button. Every 2 seconds it's gonna go off, click the button. Vision test, so hard. That vision test was so hard. I couldn't see. I somehow passed. I don't know how I passed the vision test and the depth perception test. I only knew the first one. It was A, B, and C. It was A through E, I think it was. And I got A right. I knew A because it was really easy, like you can tell. B, C, and D, I think it was. I just guessed. I couldn't tell. It was so difficult. So I don't know how I passed. Anyways, so that was done. And then I was one of the first 4 done. So it took like maybe 45 minutes to get all of that done, like those first 3 tests. So after they were done, they would check it off of your little sticker they gave you with your name on it. So we went into the lobby waiting, like all 4 of us, waiting to do the final exam, the physical basically. And then there were so many people still getting their stuff done, like even starting, and I was like, what the heck? So it was just taking them forever. So then we were sitting there for like over an hour. It was over in like an hour and 15 minutes before anybody even got taken in. And then so they took us in one by one, and then we were all like, that was like our bonding moment. Everybody started talking to each other. I was quiet. I didn't really like want to talk to anybody. I just wanted to keep to myself. And then they were like giggling, like they're like, are you scared what's gonna happen? Because you know what you had, like you had to take out your, anyways. So then it was finally my turn. Went in, asked me questions over like my whole background check and like if you lie. It wasn't even that bad. The girl was really nice. So I did everything, just answering yes, no questions, yes ma'am, no ma'am. And then she's like, all right, bet. So then went back to the lobby, sat down, and then like 5 minutes go by, they said Garcia, and I was like, me. And then so we went into the physical, went into the room, and then she's like, all right, I need you to get in your underwear, just your underwear. I'll be back with the male chaperone, knock on the door when you're done. Did it. If I was smart enough, I would have got in my underwear and then like stretched beforehand, like cracked my knees beforehand. I forgot you had a duck walk. It's like when you get down, your knees crack. So like it would just save me some embarrassment, even though like everybody's knees crack. But like I just wanted to like should have like thought about it. So like if you're gonna do that, make sure you stretch your knees and like go like, you know, and make sure they crack before they come back in. So knocked on the door, she came in, and then it was simple: touch your toes, duck walk. After that, and then how to like walk on my tiptoes, walk on my heels, and then the last part, which does happen. It's really easy though. It's really quick. She's just like, all right, I need you to put your underwear below your knees. And then she was like doing all that. And then that took like maybe 15 seconds max. And then she was like, all right, you're done. And I was like, okay. So when done, after every single time one of the guys would come out, everybody would be like, how was it? How was it? And they're like, oh, it's easy. It's really like so simple. So then after that got done, my roommate, after we were sitting, right? After I was done, they called my roommate's name up. I forgot his name. But then they're like, you're done. You can go home. He got like disqualified because he failed his hearing test. And we were like, what? what? Like we were like, everybody was so shocked. They're like, what? Like out of all the people, he was like the last we would have expected like fail something. And then so he was like, what? Like I guess I was like, he was like really like upset about it. He was a little sad, I think. And then after when he was signing out, he was like, he was acting like it was like a fucking Survivor show or something. Like he's like, I wish y'all luck, like good luck y'all, like we're like, you like it's okay, like you can come back. I finished. They're like, you're done, you can go. Went to my office's branch, went to the Air Force office, and then he was like, all right, you're done, like you can like take your lunch, go fill out this paperwork, eat your lunch, and then come back when you're done. So I ate my lunch. I ate like a turkey sandwich, really fire. Filled out this paperwork, really easy paperwork. And then went back when I was done. He's like, all right, you can go to the front office now and say you're gonna do the, I forgot what it was, but I had to go to the front and just like sit and just like answer questions about like my background and everything like that. And then went back to the office, and then he's like, all right, so now you're gonna wait to swear in. So went back to the front, went to, I think forgot the room, forgot the room name, whatever. So went in there. That was the longest waiting ever out of everything. That room is where everybody waits to swear in and like people wait to like go ship out. So I was there with like a whole bunch of people. We were in that room for over like 2.5 hours. And I was like, what the heck? Like, that was insane. Like, I didn't know it was gonna be that long. So I was like really bored. I didn't know what to do. I was just chilling, and then they had like TVs, they had like games and everything set everywhere. So like, you could play games with people. I was offered like my roommate was in that room. I don't know why he was in there. I don't even remember, but he was in there with like everybody, and he was asking me, he's like, do you want to play with us this card game, whatever the fuck? And I was like, I'm okay. Like I would have, but like I wasn't in the mood to like play anything. I just wanted to like sit down. And they had like South Park on the TV, so I was watching South Park. And then so waiting. People were like with their families waiting to ship out. Anyways, after all the waiting, they're like, all right, y'all are ready for the swearing. Went into the room. They were teaching us how this girl came in. She's like, all right, I'm gonna teach y'all how to stand at attention. So she told us what to do, basically thumbs like this or whatever. So she's like, yeah, do that. And then when he comes in or something like that, you'll like put your foot out, hands like this, whatever. So then all that happened, he came in and then did the swearing. Really easy, really quick and easy, thank God. It took max like 15 minutes, 10 minutes. Yeah, so after that, we was in a line, took pictures, took our thumbprint, and then basically was like, yes, signing our contract. I think it wasn't really like officially signing it. You wait until like the day before to ship out. But anyways, that was done. And then went home. And then so now I would rate the experience, what was it? I would rate the experience like not bad, honestly. I really wouldn't do it again. That was so horrible. Some people would tell me like, oh, I've been at MEPS like 4 times, 3 times. That's so horrible. I'm so sorry you have to experience that more than once. I couldn't do that again. Like it was like all right, like it was pretty all right experience. It was just like I can't do that waiting again. But yeah, so it was pretty all right. It wasn't like intimidating, just follow directions. It was a lot of directions to follow. But yeah, just like don't be nervous because everybody has to go through it, you know what I mean? Basically everything what I've heard about it, it's true. Like just it's what you expect, really. Nothing really horrible except like the yelling at first when they tell you to line up. Yeah, that's the only bad thing. And then the other thing is just waiting. Don't bring a whole lot of stuff. All you needed to bring is just clothes that you sleep in, basically. Well, like 2 sets of clothes or something like that. That and your phone if you want to bring it. So yeah, that was my experience. Basically now I'm waiting to go take my ASVAB and then get my day for boot camp, which is gonna be fun. And then I want to do a little vlog of like me going like shopping for like my boot camp stuff, and then like before I leave for boot camp, like that'll be fun. So hopefully I'll do that. But so that's the end of the video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Oh, I love saying those words. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe. I do plan on posting some more videos because this is low-key fun. This is low-key therapeutic. So yeah. So I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.